What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Style Esports League. You've got a best of three tonight between Glacial Academy and Westchester University Rams. You've got Crewman and Rare Adam on the cast tonight. Adam, what are you expecting from these squads this season?
I'm expecting some pretty good gameplay here. I've been fortunate enough to cast for Glacial Academy a couple of times in the past here and gotten some pretty good games out of them. I know what they've got in store. I'm really curious to see what WCU Rams have because, as I said in the little Discord intro there, collegiate versus amateur, so to speak, at WCU coming from Westchester University in Westchester, Pennsylvania versus Glacial Academy, who are just a bunch of amateur players, to be fair. And we'll see how this goes.
Well, while we're on the subject here, Adam, the last games that these two teams played here in the Style League, Westchester University did unfortunately go down 0-2 to bedtime at 7. Meanwhile, Glacial Academy, they were able to eke out a 2-1 victory over Brescia University. So 15 and 22 respectively are the rankings for these two squads currently, and Glacial Academy, with another win here, they'd love to potentially make a push towards maybe even that top 10 position.
Yeah, and the main thing is moving towards getting to that 2,000 elo mark. That's where you get into uncapped division and you start to really face some of the upper echelon of teams that we have in Style. So both of these teams really looking to get a win under their belt. But Glacial Academy finishing through their bans really quickly. Lucian, Kled, and Udir are the bans here. It looks like an early set pickup here for Telore Moho. Shen is also one of his picks that he is extremely comfortable on. Jarvan, though, going to be the option, and that is most likely going to Myriadical in the jungle.
Yeah, we have seen Jarvan flex into other positions as well, of course, but definitely would not be surprised to see that one go into the jungle position. He has once again, of course, returned to the meta in all of his Demacian glory, Jarvan. And looks like Misfortune, maybe the counter lock in here. No, it's going to be the only one. Wouldn't be too surprised to see the Misfortune locked in here as well, Adam.
Yeah, Misfortune is a very strong champion right now. Been very popular among most of these teams in terms of getting picked up very early in draft. That is exactly what's happening right here. We get an early Misfortune Leona. Great combo, but Yuumi is a champion that has risen up a lot in priority as well. Can generally stay relatively safe on top of whatever 80 carry comes through, as well as has some pretty good roaming potential later on. You just jump on top of the jungler and you move around with them. So looks like it's not going to be Yuumi locked in quite yet. Caitlyn going to be the option into the Misfortune. Been showing up a little bit more recently. Gives you some good range advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the range might help. The Misfortune Leona lane is definitely a kill lane. They're going to try and bully the opposition here and try and push them out. But Caitlyn able to farm somewhat effectively from range there. And there is the set. Going to be locked in for Romoho here, up here on the top side. It is his most played, so comfort pick for the top laner here of Glacial.
Yeah, and a lot of times Telore Moho gets that set banned away from them. Very often forced to go to that Shen, which is the second option. But thus far for Glacial Academy, they've got themselves some really strong front line, some really strong attack damage. Really need some sort of support. Well, we need a support at least, and we need some magic damage to really round out their comp for Glacial Academy. But the Nunu coming in for the side of WCU means that all of a sudden, the zone control that Glacial Academy believed they had with this Caitlyn and Jarvan suddenly not so important because Nunu will just run right through you with a snowball and start that absolute zero. And it can be decimating if that is, even on a full tank Nunu, it does a lot of damage.
Definitely could be the case here, Adam, but importantly, Nunu cannot roll his snowball through terrain. So if the Jarvan already has the Cataclysm down, could help to prevent that kind of engage from coming through. If he jumps on the Nunu while he's trying to roll the snowball in to try and deny that engage, could also look okay. And there's a lot of CC as well from, the Caitlyn and the set. They both have the potential actually to interrupt the channel of that Nunu ultimate. So we'll see how Dissipate plays it here. But, that definitely is a lot of setup now on both sides here after these first three picks have been locked in. Moving through the bans here, Yuumi and Morgana, a couple of support options being taken away from Bozzy here. Kent removed by Glacial, see what their last ban in.
Yeah, so Yuumi and Morgana, obviously the hovers for over the Caitlyn, at least before that. was the Yuumi, so they want to try and take away that support option. Of note, Morgana does extremely well into Leona because she can keep her AD carry safe. She can zone out the Misfortune on the opposite side with that stopwatch plus Soul Shackles combo. Vex and Tom Kench taken away from WCU, so obviously wanting to take away, Season 11 champion in Vex, but of course Caitlyn Morgana is a combo as old as time, so just going to get that away from the table as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the Wukong hover here, potential answer into the set. It will be locked in here for Kingfisher. We have actually pretty clear strengths and weaknesses for both of these squads here, Adam, in terms of rank. The side of Westchester actually has the definitively higher ranked top side of the map here. Kingfisher and Dissipate, Diamond 4 and Plat 1. They're going to be feeling pretty good here potentially, but a very strong bottom side of the map for Glacial. Quite sure how you say the AD's name actually. Ilioli?
Ilioli. This is one that we've
Ilioli?
had a lot of practice on Black Twitch League actually. Ilioli, it's sort of Ilioli, what's in the pocket Oli, that sort of deal. But Bozzy actually going to be playing support here. Miriatical was out last week, and Bozzy moved up to play jungle, at least in BTL. But Thresh going to come through as the combo with the Caitlyn, and we said they needed some magic damage. Syndra will fill that role.
Yes, she certainly will. She is mostly burst, though, to be noted. So if we do see a lot of tank stats getting built up here on the side of Westchester, then the Syndra is not going to have that sustained magic damage in the later game that could potentially be necessary to cut through some of these beefy WCU members.
Yeah, and thus far, you can see the Wukong going to come through, not quite a full tank, but will provide a lot of combo potential with that last pickup there, the Orianna. So mid lane is going to effectively be, instead of being rock, paper, scissors, as bot lane usually is, it's just going to be pick a number between 1 and 100, and both of them get it wrong, and they're just kind of sitting there continuing to guess. So it's going to be a rather neutral lane state overall, and should be curious to see how both of these teams play this out, because they seem very well matched on paper. Not a whole lot of winning or losing matchups on either side going one way or the other.
Yeah, absolutely. What a classic mid lane matchup, right? Syndra versus Orianna. It may be, not the most exciting matchup, but it is still a classic. What do we think about this bot lane here? The Thresh getting paired alongside the Caitlyn. I wouldn't necessarily say that is an exceptionally strong lane, especially when compared with something like the Misfortune Leona, but Thresh does have some favorable interactions against the Leona here, can flay away those potential Zenith Blades coming through, and also lantern the Caitlyn out of any kind of sticky situations. But what do you make of that matchup down there, Adam?
I think that the Caitlyn Thresh is actually phenomenal into Misfortune Leona. Leona, as you said, gets completely stuffed by the likes of Thresh because it's not like it is a pike or something where the dash is pretty instantaneous. Leona's dash has a delay. You have to land that Zenith Blade first, and every single time the Zenith Blade lands onto someone, Thresh can start channeling that flay, and it will hit the Leona at some point during it. So taking her out of that, making sure she can't land the second half of that stun. The Lantern as well, really good to get away from the Solar Flare, and considering the Misfortune is on the flip side with no innate mobility or really way to get out of sort of dodge away from the hooks apart from movement, you get a really good combo where you can hook. Caitlyn puts down a trap, you get that initial headshot, you can then flay them back again, and you can get them into another trap if you time it perfectly. So there's some pretty good combo potential coming through from this bot lane, the Caitlyn Thresh. I don't think it has as much agency in team fights as the Misfortune Leona will, so we'll have to keep our eye on how they ought to play this comp, because by the looks of it, Academy are going more for picks. They don't win the 5v5 ever, I think, unless they're ridiculously ahead. But the bot lane should be pretty tough for Misfortune Leona. But then again, Misfortune's also a really broken champion right now, so I think she'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, you've discussed extensively, of course, how the Thresh can deny that Leona engage from coming through. But if Misfortune and Leona play it patiently, it's still an extremely strong lane, right? Once they hit that level 6 mark, the non-committal nature of Leona's ultimate, potentially setting up for a bullet time, is going to be very, very threatening, regardless of how that early lane goes, really. But let's transition, Adam, over here up towards top side for just a minute as we finish out the Client Champ Select here. Set versus Wukong. Set, of course, generally speaking, wins out in a lot of melee matchups here. But as we scale in towards the mid and later portions of the game, how do you expect top lane to play into the rest of the map here?
I think Set versus Wukong is going to be pretty boring, I dare say, unless either of these guys want to go for some sort of aggressive gameplay. Really, Set goes toe-to-toe with Wukong because both of them end up taking Conqueror. They just sort of punch each other, whack each other around. Wukong can go in for heavy trades, but if Set uses that W properly, can trade all of that damage back. So in the end, it sort of ends up being relatively neutral up on that top side. I'm assuming that we're going to get both of these junglers to put some attention up there because both of these top lanes have really good gank setup and gank follow-up respectively, and Jarvan Nunu are great early gankers.
Yeah, they definitely are. I will say here, Adam, I definitely think that Set Jarvan win that 2v2 pretty much every time. So if both junglers do show up, I feel like Westchester may be best advised to play that one a little slower, a little safer. But we'll see how it ends up all breaking down. We are into the spectator delay here, folks. A couple more minutes on that one. Adam, who is your, if you had to choose one, who is your player to watch here?
I think if I'm looking at a player to watch, not so much based off of just draft, but just off of previous experience, King Annihilator 26 is really someone to keep my eye on. This past weekend, they had a series against Mingos where, well, I mean, if you're familiar with Glacial as an organization, Mingos used to be a Glacial team. Mingos are a very aggressive team, and they really put the dagger into the top and bot lanes of that match. But King Annihilator on his LeBlanc was able to hold his own for a large majority of that first game and really had a chance to carry that game in game 2 as well. So really self-sufficient in that mid lane, doesn't need a whole lot of attention and has carry potential, so I'm keeping my eye on King Annihilator. On the flip side, I want to see Ahata really pop off here. This Misfortune is such a strong pick, considering the teamfight comp that WCU have picked for themselves. Wukong ultimate, Leona ultimate, just everyone wants to press R, so they have an easy to execute comp, but you need that Misfortune to be supplying that damage on the back end. And considering there's no true tank on the side of Glacial Academy, Misfortune's going to be a pivotal target to watch.
Sounds good here, Adam. Back to the mid lane there. King Annihilator and Sunjay going to be an epic matchup. See a lot of cheering for Sunjay over here in Twitch chat. Always love to see fans coming out and support their team, their favorite player. And Ahata down here on the Misfortune. He's set up for success with a strong meta pick, but he's going to have his work cut out for him up against Ilioli and Bozzy down there. We are 1 minute away from getting onto the Rift, guys. We are going to go to a short break while we get set up in game here. Don't go anywhere. Game 1 of tonight's best of 3 coming at you soon.
to Summoner's Rift.
Alrighty, Adam, Twitch chat, hope you guys are ready. We're on to the Rift. Game 1, Glacial Academy versus the Rams. We have a pretty spread start from both of these squads here to open up. But Adam, any runes or summoner spells catching your eye here for this first game?
Grasp Jarvan Jungle. What? I don't have any analysis behind it because I think it's awful. I know where it comes from. It comes from Nidhogg, who is a high yellow Jarvan Nidalee 2-trick, but I just think it's absolutely atrocious. He was advocating for lethal tempo Jarvan for the longest time too, and I was like, oh, dude, just no, just go Conquer, go Electrocute, keep it standard. But obviously, I don't know, Grasp Jarvan. We'll see, because I just think Aftershock would be better.
Yeah, well, we will see. We will see. Muriatical going with something a little off meta here for game number 1. Courtesy of Nidhogg, apparently. I didn't know that, but he'll be starting red buff regardless. Dissipate going to be matching this bot side start, so both junglers clearing towards that potentially volatile set Wukong top lane here, Adam. See who's able to get an advantage up there.
Yeah, and thus far, no one's getting the advantage because Teloremoho was faking a leash or something along those lines. Takes a little bit of an unfortunate trade level 1, but what we should see is Ilioli trying to bully out this misfortune. Range advantage is going to be big for the Caitlyn. That's really where she gets a lot of her power points.
Thresh into Leona should be pretty good too, as we discussed earlier. Top laners continuing to trade up here. Sunjay eating quite a bit of poke here in mid lane. Orianna down to 50% already. We are seeing that bot lane priority for the Caitlyn lane that you were talking about coming through here, Adam. Running Ahata forced to retreat all the way back under the tier 1. Scorching going to eat a Piltover Peacemaker on the way out there. Nunu maybe going for something here. He's rolling in with the snowball. King Annihilator didn't see this one coming. He's getting knocked up. He's flashed away trying to stay alive, but he's about to get rooted in place, and he's about to get first blooded. Dissipate puts Westchester on the board.
Yeah, Dissipate makes King Annihilator dissipate, that's for sure. Great gank from the Nunu, as expected. 3 camps into mid lane. That's the power of the snowball. You just roll it right down, and you get yourself a kill. Annihilator needs to just try and flash into the Nunu sometimes. That's the best way to go. You flash towards it, because you can flash over that snowball, but unfortunately still gets knocked up and taken down. Phase Rush Nunu's so good at chasing people down.
Oh, that's the Zenith Blade going in. Double up connecting onto Ilioli, taking a lot of damage here on the Caitlyn. Death Sentence just connecting onto a minion. That is going to be Leona stepping onto a trap, though. So a headshot going back. Oh, that's another nice double up from Ahata. Clearly a misfortune player on our hands here, Adam. He's just going to have to try and farm this one up under tower. We got another Zenith Blade in. Please don't run it. Maybe doing just that, but he's got the Ignite down onto Bozzy. That's the Thresh Flash forced pretty early on here. Please don't run it. I'm sorry for doubting you. Nice engage there. Oh, Kingfisher dashing away from the Haymaker there. And here comes Nunu. Here's that 2v2 that we teased early on in the Champ Select. Kingfisher flashing forward, looking for a little bit more damage onto Set, but he's only a level 3 Wukong. He's not going to be able to find it. He gets pulled back right into Set's waiting fist. It's going to be 1-1 now here, 4 minutes in.
And the main thing is that Kingfisher flashed and then didn't really have any mana to do anything, so unfortunately going to go down. And a really good pickup from Teloremoho here. Dissipate.
That's a nice death sentence, but Thresh has no flash. Ballsy's just going to get executed here. The flash in. He got the kill. He's able to pick up that last hit with Caitlyn's auto attack range just barely. I was pretty scared for a second, though. He is able to make that a 1-for-1 in bot lane in the end.
Yeah, and unfortunately, the main thing that was weird there was the cancel of the auto attack almost ended up costing Ilioli, but Ahata able to pick up a kill, and actually really big advantage for the side of the Caitlyn here. Able to pick up that kill with a little bit of extra juice on it. Has a Noon Quiver compared to just the pickaxe, so it's going to be feeling good.
Base check a Thresh here. There is the Scatter of the Weak into the death sentence. Sunjay in a lot of trouble here, still has the flash. Going to try and get over the wall to safety here. And King Annihilator, he burned that one earlier on with the Nunu gank. Top laners continuing to brawl here. Set ticking over to level 5. Wukong has this wave in a very unfortunate position. Kingfisher would love to get that wave into the tower, but Set not going to make it easy for him.
Set is looking devastating as always, just walking right up and looking for aggressive trades, but Kingfisher doesn't have a whole lot of... Oh my goodness, Bozzy.
Thresh maybe in some trouble here, but he has his jungler here for the backup, Muriatical with the
43.
EQ forward, and there's the Death Sentence. Ballsy using the enemy mid laner as an
Teleport.
escape route, and it's going to be Ioli coming in from the bottom side. They're able to pick up the kill onto the enemy mid laner. Now Ahata gets pulled back. Ramoho teleports into the play. Please don't run it. Going over the wall with the Xenoblade, trying to save his AD carry, but may have just sacrificed himself in the process. Still on the run. Please don't run it. He's running it. He's trying to run out of this one. We got Ballsy on the flank on the Thresh. They're looking for him, but a little bit of an unfortunate blast cone. Leona may be out of here, Adam. Going for the execute.
Yeah, Leona's going to execute here. I don't know why she's using her W there. She should just, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, she executes at the end of it. Thresh just waited way too long on that blast cone. I don't know. I think the Lantern was used really early on. That was what was teleported to, either that or the Jarvan flag. And unfortunately, they just sort of turned onto Please Don't Run It. And Caitlyn, I think, she netted backwards, which I don't think was necessary because it was just a Leona, but regardless, it is going to be the extra kill for, or it's going to end up being just one.
That's another scatter, but here comes Nunu again off on the flank, but Jarvan is here, Muriatical for the counter, engage EQ forward, but look at that damage! Syndra just gets annihilated, and now Nunu is level 6. Jarvan is not Muriatical, just gets absolutely frozen to death in mid lane here. Dissipate is 3-0 on the Nunu.
Yeah, really well played from that Nunu, and that's what I was saying. Absolute Zero does a whole bunch of damage. Nunu picking up that early kill, as well as having that farm advantage, means that he gets level 6 a lot earlier than you expect, and the snowball is just so potent. You saw Jarvan use that EQ to buffer through it, but it's just not enough at the end of the day, and what we end up seeing is Nunu being 3-0 this game, and the gold lead being in favor of WCU Rams by about 1,000, and honestly, the side of Glacial Academy need to try and get their early game advantage back, because if they are even or behind in the mid game, this team fight comp from the side of WCU Rams is so easy to execute that you just need to press R and go and hit more than one person most of the time, and you'll be able to pick up multiple kills.
Yeah, it is about a 500 gold lead in favor of Westchester right now. Pretty even, but a slight advantage for that team fighting squad that you were talking about there. And Ballsy, he's about to face check. Once again, the wrong bush. Does have a death sentence connecting. Yeah, does have the flash as well. Gonna get over the wall here, potentially survive. Run, gonna eat some damage on the way out. King Annihilator roaming down here from the mid lane. Sunjae is just a little ways behind him here. No deaths in that particular scuffle.
Yeah, just a little bit of punching back and forth, but at this point, you can see where the lane state on the bot side is. It's Ahata trying to freeze this wave. You can't freeze against a Caitlyn unless you've got yourself another ranged support really to zone them off. But right now, Caitlyn just going to try and push in this wave. Thresh left, so now the freeze will work. But interesting strategy coming out from both Academy as well as from WC Rams. In the end, it's going to benefit the Rams a lot more as Taylor Himoho has had a good laning phase, but just sort of brainless pushing top lane and not getting a whole lot off the back end of it either. The teleport down to bot lane didn't get them anything, so forced to...
Well, they didn't get the first dragon off that, and they did win a fight.
I mean, team fight win is arguable because it was like a 1-for-1, and then Leona executed, so they wasted a lot of time doing that.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think overall that bot lane fight went neutral, and then of course Nunu picking up the extra couple kills has been advantageous since then. And speaking of Nunu and Jarvan, they're coming up topside here.
They sure are. We're looking at another 2v2 potentially breaking out, but Kingfisher does not have the AP for it necessarily. Muriatical is a little bit behind the play on this one, but Nunu is going to respect the power of the Jarvan here. He is just going to phase his way out of there, but he does drop in the absolute zero now. It's going to be a lot of damage onto the Jarvan, and there's the Cyclone coming through. Kingfisher flashing out of the Cataclysm, and it's going to be a kill onto the Nunu to start this one off. Kingfisher now in a very tough spot. He is going to suffer the wrath of the Syndra ultimate. Sunjae has roamed his way up here. Leona here as well. So we still have a 2v2, but the Zenith...
Where's the shockwave?
Are so strong right now. You guys don't win this. Westchester biting off a little bit more than they can chew up here. There's another scat of the week, and Leona will be able to escape underneath the tower. But a decisive win up there in top lane for the side of Glacial.
Yeah,
Leona's sticking around here.
I think she should be okay. Oh my god, no.
You think so, Adam?
No,
Is she gonna be okay, Adam? Is that some bullet time coming out? And the ace in the hole, Ahata, is gonna be finding himself in one that's about 6 feet deep. It's 8-5, Glacial Academy.
Wait, I don't get to analyze anything. Dissipates here.
Yeah, he sure is.
Oh!
Yeah, there's no color that's going to be happening today, Adam. There's just non-stop fighting. Ilioli with the net is dashing away. Dissipate can't find the kill. He's trying to get Thrush. He's not going to be able to find the kill credit. Going over to Bozzy, make that 9.
So, you know, I was saying how Glacial Academy had to get themselves back into a good mid or early game position. They've done that. Sunjay's in trouble.
Oh, God, stop.
Okay, Myriad
Yeah,
put it down to the Rift Herald instead.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you there, Adam. Got another play happening here. Sunjay, he is going to be able to stand and defeat the Rift Herald here. No dives coming through. Nunu is rolling down mid right now with the snowball as well. He's so fast, this Nunu. He was 3-0. He's 3-2 now, Adam. Dissipate. He was off to a great start. He's suffered a couple of unfortunate deaths here recently in top lane and then down there in bot lane. That tragic close call where he was almost able to get those couple of kills. Dragon number 2 is alive, and River is currently held by the side of Westchester. They're going to start this one up. Jarvan is in the area. Is there any chance for Glacial to get in here and contest this?
Dissipate have the Ultra Smite from the Nunu. Yeah, you can just see it. It's smited from 1500 there, but the main thing is that Kingfisher has teleport now, but is going to back first. It means that Telo Remojo should be able to pick up almost this entire turret. Might actually get it before there's any TP coming through, and Kingfisher's still going to teleport up there. Might not be worth it at the end of the day because that's the tower gone.
That is the tower gone. First turret blood going over to the set here. Wukong dashing away with the clone. So not going to take too much damage there, but did lose that objective as well as the teleport being committed. Play backwards into the dead sentence. Bozzy looking for something here, and here comes the bullet time as well. Solar Flare going to force the flash out of Zata. Zenith Blade connects, and there's the auto attack. A hot top picks up the kill, and now Caitlyn's in some trouble trying to get the damage down. Is able to pick up that kill onto Leona. Nicely played. Ilioli knew he had to focus, and there's the flash in from Myriadic. Cataclysm into Ace combo. It's another kill onto the bot lane of Westchester. 11-6 now. 5,000 gold lead for Glacial Academy. 12.5 minutes in.
And Telo Remojo probably feels a little bit silly about that one because teleported down and didn't get anything, unfortunately. But regardless, as it stands right now, Glacial Academy are playing extremely good gameplay. They've been playing very quick, and they've been playing very efficiently. King Annihilator in this mid lane.
Oh, no. Sunjay tried to set up a 1v1 with the shockwave there, but it ends up being Syndra who forces out the summoner spell as Kingfisher is going to get hooked here. And there's the flay backwards, but the follow-up is a bit far away here. Lantern brings him in, and there is the face breaker, the power of the Thresh on full display there from Bozzy. Able to set up a kill very nicely for his top laner.
Yeah, really well played to pick that one up nice and quickly. I think Glacial Academy are just firing on all cylinders. At the end of the day, I don't think it really matters the fact that we have a Grasp Jarvan. Built the Divine Sunder, which is an interesting option, but just doing really well overall, and don't think there's any sort of, I dare say, issues quite yet with their early game comp, bar some sort of miraculous team fight coming through from WCU, but they still have time to scale. I think that's the main thing to keep in mind for the Rams here. You just have to kind of chill and wait for stuff to happen.
That was nicely played by the Rams. They know that they don't have priority on that top side with that tier 1 already going down, so they're able to commit numbers to the bottom side, get a couple of extra turret plates in the back pocket of Ahata. So he is going to have some decent income here. Remojo still just trying to pressure this Wukong up here. Set has just been dominating this lane all game long. Myriadical up here to try and continue to pressure this top side. Here comes the EQ. There's the Cataclysm into the showstopper. That was just brutal. The Wukong is still alive somehow, but he won't stay that way for long. It ends up being Jarvan picking up the last hit with the Dragon Lance here. But look at this. It's the side of Westchester trying to get some revenge up here in top lane. Both of those ultimates already committed. Remojo does have the Haymaker back up. He's trying to get a kill back on to Dissipate. The flash off the Nunu is forced out, and there's a nice death sentence. Bozzy trying to set up another one here into the trap. Ilioli and Bozzy down here in bot lane able to pick up a clean one onto the Misfortune.
Yeah, dropping those Master emotes, really going full BM on stream here, I guess. But yeah, this Misfortune opting for the Kraken Slayer build. I don't think Eclipse would have changed anything in that fight. Ilioli's just been extremely strong on this bot side of the map, really chunking out anyone who comes close. And this tower is going to go down for another tower for the side of Academy, and they are up 6,000 gold.
So much. so much, Adam.
Rift Herald going down as well, again, for the side of Academy.
Yep. There was that one dragon that the side of WCU was able to pick up there, but it's a silver lining on this game for sure. It's a gold leads across the board for the side of Glacial Academy. They're winning every lane, and it seems like almost an inevitability that they will take game number 1 here, Adam. But if you are on the side of Westchester, what kind of game plan do you think they could possibly craft to maybe find a way back into this one?
Well, I mean, we might have just cast a curse them by saying that, but I think that for Westchester, they just have to find that right team fight. They need to find some smart vision and pick themselves up a play. Maybe here's the play here.
There is. Please don't run it. Going in with the Zenith play. A big old 5v5 breaking out in mid lane right now. First cyclone from Kingfisher doesn't get much. And Ramoho with a giant showstopper brings Leona back in towards his own team. Oh. That's going to be Wukong going down first. The Absolute Zero is interrupted. And a gigantic Cataclysm Neuriatical sets it up. And the rest of the team knocks it down. It's a clean 5-0. And Glacial Academy are stomping the opposition.
Yeah, Taylor Remojo's the real MVP of that fight. First of all, pulled Kingfisher back with the Facebreaker to keep the first ultimate off of Caitlyn. Forces the flash from Kingfisher to get that second ultimate, and Ilioli has enough mobility. Doesn't even use the flash in that fight to be able to get away, and if that's how your team fights are going with the team comp that WC Rams have, they are doomed because they're so far behind already that even their wombo combo is not going to be enough.
That is an engage. Please don't run it. He's looking for an engage, but it's Ramoho again.
Oh,
he has the haymaker. Look at the damage, Adam. He's not going to be able to get it done. He's in a 1v5, but still, the set is so strong right now in this one.
Yeah, just healed for 60% of his HP off of that one. No big deal. Then got a shield for the rest of his health bar. Building towards that mathematically correct Sild with the set build, sorry, with the Gore Drinker and the Sterix Gauge. So we'll be doing a whole lot with that haymaker at the end of the day. But they get slim pickings. They get the shutdown, and it goes on to an important member.
He's trying to find these plays. He's trying to do whatever it takes to get his team back in it. He sets this one very nicely. Oh, Ilioli lives! And he fires off the ace in the hole. It will be blocked by Dissipate, but look at this. Ramojo's not done. Oh, you guys trying to make a play? Not on my watch. There's the Facebreaker on it, too. There's the Haymaker. Sujay just barely able to get out of there with the phase rush. Oriana able to escape. Please don't run it. He's looking for this kill onto Ilioli. He doesn't have the Ignite ready to go, though. And he's just going to step on a trap and get shot in the head. And it's Oriana. Soon, Jay, I didn't see how it happened. But he ends up going down as well here. Another couple of kills picked up by Glacial Academy. And their gold lead is up to 10,000, Adam.
Yeah, they're just a juggernaut that is steamrolling through this game right now. Muriatical, you know what? Your build works. I will give it to you this time around. Divine Sunder into what looks to be Titanic Hydra, so going very much Bruiser build, not going Gordrink or Sterix, which is odd, but regardless, working out for them. I think at the end of the day, though, it's just a little bit of the fights that come out from this that they're looking for. You can see Please Don't Run It is looking for these proactive plays, looking to sort of start the fights off. But
ooh, Caitlyn caught out a little bit here. Ilioli overstaying a little bit in the enemy jungle, is going to get punished for it, and it hands the shutdown right over to the Misfortune there. So Ahata going to feel pretty good about that one.
Yeah, the best shutdown they could have given it onto there as Misfortune. Building towards Lord Dominic's. You got to build Sarah does on Misfortune because it's so strong with her ultimate, but regardless, we'll have to keep our eye on where this set is going, because I think the sideline is going to be incredibly important as the game goes on, and especially considering the 5v5 comp that WC Rams have, they can still pull off team fights from 10k behind if they find the right sort of engage. It's just really difficult to find it right now, so Taylor Moho has to start to head to the side lane and put side lane pressure, as Annihilator did bot lane, pushing in that wave. And all of a sudden, this Baron is going to be up and available. You have to contest with a Nunu Consume Smite, but they should be fed enough to be able to do this.
Yeah, I am inclined to agree here, Adam. And it looks like the side of Glacial are inclined to agree as well, as they're just going to go ahead and start up Nash on spawn. Nunu is in the area, and it looks like he may be able to suss this one out. but it is going down pretty quickly. Already down to half HP here on the Baron. Muriatical on the backside here, trying to zone away. Nunu has ultimate. He can get into this pit, dissipate. He wants to go for the steal. He is Nunu. They're just burning this one down. It's 2,500. Here comes the teleport now. It's going to be Kingfisher joining the play. A nice solar flare, but only onto the Thresh. Please don't run it is going in. There's the Cyclone onto 2, but one from Moho in the bat line. And it's going to be the Set setting up a beautiful triple kill for himself. And it's just going to be total annihilation of the side of the Rams. And it's going to be Glacial Academy getting everything that they want on the map and more.
They get the ace, and they're going to get Baron off the back end of that. Muriatical taking a decent chunk of damage from it, but Telo Remojo should be able to just come and tank it up. You can see that they're sending 2 people to get the inhibitor, while 3 of them take the Baron. Really well played to get as much as they can, and they're going to be in really good shape after this one. Going to be about 13,000 gold up, sorry, as Baron Nashor goes down, and this is just firing on all cylinders for the side of Glacial Academy. WC Rams, they just don't have any answers.
They don't seem to here, Adam. Didn't you say that this was collegiate versus amateur? And
yes.
Westchester was the collegiate team?
Yes, amateur's kind of destroying them.
Oof. Strong showing for amateur here tonight, as Dragon number 4 going to be spawning onto the Rift very shortly here. Only about 20 seconds on that objective. Would be Cloud Soul points for the side of Glacial Academy. Not that I really think they need it, as they are just comically ahead right now in this one, Adam.
Yes, and you know, dragons are spawning. The side of Westchester can still take them because they have Nunu, but at the end of the day, it's just you're gonna end up losing so much off of the rest of the map, and they didn't get that inhibitor at the end of the day, but with 13,000 gold lead plus the Baron, they're just going to be able to take this at will and put themselves on soul point. If we can even get a game that goes that far, because I think they finish in the next 5 minutes.
I think they should be able to, definitely. And if they're not able to, then that, I feel like, would reflect badly on them, to be honest. So we'll see if the side of Glacial Academy is able to close this one out nice and cleanly. It's 26-9 right now in kills, 13,000 gold lead, as you already said there, Adam. Ozzy looking for the death sentence here. Not going to be able to find it just yet. Please don't run it. He tried very, very hard there in the mid-game to find the picks for his team, but they were just a little bit too far behind already as we commence the siege onto the bot lane. Tier 3 scattered the weak over the walls. That's one up on the Leona Showstopper, and that is the Leona taxi straight into her entire team. Ramoho knocks them all down once again, and it's going to be game 1 decisively taken by Glacial Academy.
Yeah, and looking at this game, you know, for nothing, you got the team fight you wanted. A huge Leona ult, a huge Ori ult, a huge Nunu ult. It doesn't matter though, because the side of Glacial Academy are just so fed at this stage that they're going to take game 1. As I said, they're going to finish in the next 5 minutes. They finished in the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, and Adam, I don't think Set is making through Champ Select here for game number 2, because Ramoho on the Set, this game on the boss, he was just an absolute monster. He was tearing it up. Muriatical, shout out to him too with the Grasp Jarvan. You know, his team was so far ahead, I don't think it really ended up mattering what his runes were, what his build was, because, you know, the Cataclysm was really all they needed to absolutely stomp those team fights. But regardless, props to Glacial. And for the side of Westchester, they are going to need to dig deep here and come up with something much different here to try and make game 2 a different story.
They'll have to sort of get to their core and figure out what went wrong that game, and a lot of that just had to do with Nunu Nunu getting the kills early might not have been the best target to put them on. I think you try and get this misfortune ahead, you try and put a little bit more priority on getting Wukong kills, but unfortunately Tedo Remojo, Muriatical, and King Annihilator all played extremely well on that top side. And Elioi and Bozzy were just on a 2v2 the entire time, basically, and they just absolutely demolished it. So I think there are some points of contention that WC Rams need to start to focus on, as Academy just, Academy can kind of hide their cards in some way and just play the exact same comp or something very similar and not need to worry.
All right. Well, we will see what kind of adjustments end up being made here in the Champion Select phase and in the game as we head into that second game tonight. But first, we are going to go... are we going to go to a short break? I think the teams might be ready already, Adam.
We are going to
a break. Very good. Well, game 2 will be coming very shortly, folks, so don't go anywhere. More action here in the Style Esports League right around the corner. No rest for the weary, guys. Westchester Rams straight back onto the rift here for game number 2. They have swapped sides. They're going to be taking up positions on blue this time around. Glacial Academy moving on over to the red side there. And we are through the bans already, guys. Set, Vayne, and Brom taken off the table by the Rams. Udyr, Lucian, and Kled removed by Glacial. And my prediction was correct, Adam. Set not going to be available for Remojo this time around.
Yeah, it's something that's been permabanned against him in most of the other leagues that he's been a part of, so no surprise there. Does have a pretty nasty Shen in the back as well. Not going to give anything away in terms of strategies, but the Ezreal first pick here from WCU Rams basically says, we are going to go for a completely different strategy. We aren't going to play for that team fight. We're going to play more of your style to pick the 3v3, the 2v2 sort of style. And Academy say, okay, we'll just take your comp instead. The Jarvan going to get picked up once again for Myriadical. That misfortune for Ilioli looked really good on the Caitlyn and knows exactly what matchup he's playing into as well.
Yeah, sees the Ezreal there and is very, very comfortable to just lock in that strong laning champion in the misfortune. Combo with the Jarvan is exceptional as well. Of course, last game, the Jarvan and the misfortune were on opposite teams, but this time they are united, and the cataclysmic bullet time is going to be an option here for Glacial Academy in this one. But the Xin Zhao going to get locked in for Dissipate this game. I will say, I did like the early proactivity on the Nunu there. Was able to get Westchester off to an early lead, but it was not enough, as the pick from the scrappiness of Glacial in that last game was a little bit too much. But it's going to be the Xin Zhao for Dissipate, and the Tom Kench also locked in here for the Ram.
Yeah, Tom Kench going to get locked in after getting banned away last game. Looks like they want to try and put Kingfisher on something a little bit safer overall. So going to be picking up that Tom. The Xin Zhao, though, I like to see this out of Dissipate, a little bit more of a proactive jungler here and doing a little bit more damage. If you get kills on Xin Zhao, it's not as bad as getting kills on Nunu, so to speak. Well, yeah, of course, getting kills on Nunu is good. You just need to do something with them. But the Gnar going to be that answer into the Tom Kench. And Remojo does have a pretty good Gnar as well. Not as, I guess, high up on my tier list compared to the Set or the Shen. But Gnar definitely can bully out that Tom Kench matchup. And it's really easy to play that lane because every time that Tom Kench dives in, you just hop away.
And look at the team fight getting constructed by Glacial right now. You have Jarvan with Misfortune and Gnar. Both of these champions combo so well with that Jarvan ultimate. Pretty frightening comp getting constructed right now by Glacial Academy.
I like the looks of what their team comp is going for right now, where they just sort of put everything onto the bullet time. It's sort of the comp in a way that the side of WC Rams tried to pull off last game. Unfortunately, they couldn't get to that part of the game where they were strong enough. And now the tables are flipped once again. It's going to be Ezreal, sort of a pick champion, sort of like the Caitlyn in terms of their range against the Misfortune. But Seraphine going to be the pair up this time. They're going to try and basically get the double bullet time, or bullet time, as I call it, because of the Encore. So should be interesting to see how that plays out as well.
Yeah, it was a very heavy mid lane focus there in that second phase of bans. 4 mid laners taken off the table. Orianna, LeBlanc, Vex, Silas all removed there. Syndra notably still available. King Annihilator, we're locking in the Seraphine for now instead, and that is the Brand locked away here. Probably Brand support, right, Adam?
Yeah, no shot that goes mid, because I'm pretty sure Brand's mid is just kind of bad, but yeah, Twisted Fate is the hover. Yeah, Brand support coming through. I like this because it gives you a lot of lane damage now. Ezreal, normally not seen as a specific lane bully, but can be really strong when paired up with another poke like support. So please don't run it. Going to be playing a very different champion where they will do a whole bunch of damage here. And WC Rams really putting their eggs in just the damage basket here. Annihilator hovering that Zoe though right now, and this is another Annihilator classic, and Zoe will do a lot of damage as well. I'm excited to see how this match plays out.
Yeah, it definitely should be an interesting one. The Zoe into the Twisted Fate. The Twisted Fate, of course, is going to want to get that early lane priority, try and get side lanes ahead, play towards that split map win condition that you were talking about for the Rams here, Adam. And the Zoe is going to do her best to make that TF's life hell, just rain down the poke on him, make him very, very sleepy, and potentially too tired to go for those teleports.
Yeah, Zoe's got to look for some really, I guess, advantageous sleepy trouble bubbles over walls and the like. And Zoe's a really good roamer in her own right because she has that potential to sort of set up a play from a really long way away, specifically on top and bot side. You got to be careful of those triangle walls across from Tribush, like the opposite side. I don't really know what that's called, if it even has a name, but regardless, she can fire a bubble from basically that wall all the way down right next to the tower there. So if you're pushed up a little too far, you've always got to be careful about where Zoe can come from.
Yeah, lots of different angles that those bubbles can hit you from, absolutely. And even the Zoe combos with the Jarvan, because the bubble can fly through the terrain created by Cataclysm, right?
Yes, it doesn't
it's
really
literally
do much,
just a Jarvan combo.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much, but it's kind of useful.
The point is, it works.
Yes. But overall, I really like the comp from both of these teams. It kind of brings something different to the forefront and can definitely start to take some more... I think WC Rams have just a more comfortable comp overall.
Interesting. Why is that?
I think that just playing the brand definitely shows that they want to try and just be as annoying as possible in this lane, sort of similar to how Caitlyn Thresh works, except with a lot more damage on the back end of it. The Tahm Kench up on the top side, probably a little bit more of a comfortable matchup for Kingfisher, and the Xin Zhao is just a better ganking jungler, I think, and scales a little bit better, which is weird to say because it's Xin Zhao, but can do a little bit more with gold than Nunu can, so really curious to see how WC Rams are able to play this one out.
Yeah, it's definitely... I'm very intrigued by the bot lane, for sure. Ezreal Brand. And, I mean, it's not like Ezreal Lux, or, you know, there are some other very strong poke lanes with Ezreal that are infamous for the strength of the poke. But, you know, Brand could potentially make something like that work. He does have some pretty decent range with the Pillar of Flame there, the W. Can cast that from pretty far away, and you know we will see. The Misfortune Seraphine is also pretty interesting. You know, the Seraphine doesn't really strike me as an extremely strong laner that would normally be paired with the Misfortune, but once those two hit level 6, there could potentially be some pretty nasty combos set up there.
Actually, one thing to note is level 1 Misfortune Seraphine have a really good combo with both of their E's. Misfortune drops the Make It Rain. It gives you a 40% slow. And then Bozzy can root with the Seraphine E in her own right. So it is a combo at level 1. It is a pretty strong lane as well, but it's more so the fact that Ezreal and Brand are never going to be in range for that. They're always going to be way back in the lane looking for advantageous poke. And because Misfortune is a little bit shorter range in terms of how she CS's specifically, she's going to have to walk up and is always at risk of taking a Pillar of Flame to the face.
Well, it should be an exciting one here. Of course, it is a must-win game here for Westchester. They did go down quite handily in game number 1 there. Glacial Academy, if they can make this a clean 2-0, that would definitely raise their rating a little bit here, I think, Adam. They'd be that much closer to that top 10 position.
Yeah, I think that we talk about top 10 as if it's, you know, some sort of forbidden thing, but in the end, it's really nice to see some of these teams really move up that ladder, and we get to see the development week over week from a lot of these teams as well, and that's really the main thing to keep in mind.
Absolutely. We're looking for improvement here. Looking for everybody to just be doing their best and synergizing well as a team. That is what we're going to be looking for here. Just a couple of minutes still on the spectator delay here, Adam. What kind of runes do you expect out of the Xin Zhao here? Because he does have some choice. There is some variety in what Xin Zhao can go for. And we've already seen some interesting rune choices from I believe it was Myriadical last game.
Yes,
right?
I think Dissipate needs to go for Conqueror. I know Hail of Blades is really fun, and it can do a lot for your early ganks, but overall I think that Conqueror is just a better rune. We'll most likely see Dissipate opt for that. Myriadical is going to go Grasp again because it worked last game, so yeah.
Yeah, I could see an argument either way for the Xin Zhao this game. I mean, the Conqueror is good when Gnar is Mega Form, if you expect to be fighting a lot of these fights front to back, or if you expect to be topside a lot in the early game, mid game, then Conqueror definitely makes more sense. But, the Hail of Blades can be pretty useful for locking down somebody like a Zoe, or potentially interrupting a bullet time with that knock-up can be pretty significant.
Yeah, I think that there is a lot of combo potential coming out from Academy. As I said, it's just sort of the teams have swapped sides in some ways, but kind of left the comps on that opposite side. So the blue side here for WCU, they have more of that pick potential and can do well in team fights if they are given a couple too many kills. Whereas on the flip side, you go for that mid game and you look for those team fights.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we are soon going to be getting onto the Rift for the second game of tonight's best of 3. Don't go anywhere. Westchester and Glacial Academy going to be battling it out right after this. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift, everybody. We are here for Game 2 between Academy versus Amateur, or Academic versus Amateur, however you want to put it, as Ilioli just going for a little bit of poke down here. It is Comet on the Misfortune this game here, Adam, as you were just pointing out to me during the break there. And, Seraphine is going for the Aftershock, so would have potentially maybe I'd like to see the double Comet lane there. What do you think about those rune choices?
I think that going for the Guardian is sort of the easy way out for Seraphine. It just means that if you proc the Guardian shield, you can just use your normal W and it gives you the big AoE heal after. I mean, I always just don't like Guardian because it's a boring rune. It's good, but it's boring. I like the Dark Harvest coming out from Brand, though. That's a little bit more spicy.
Yeah, and maybe the Guardian does make a little bit more sense when we take the enemy bot lane into account here. They are going to be going for a lot of that poke, as we were talking about a little bit before. So the Guardian may help to shield the Misfortune Seraphine lane from getting poked out a little bit too much early on here. But this mid lane, I think, will be quite interesting to keep an eye on. It was definitely King Annihilator getting the better end of it last time around. Sunjae on the TF this game. Gonna be interesting to see what kind of impact he's able to have on the rest of the map here.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to keep in mind is, big trade bot lane.
Ooh, that's a lot of damage onto Please Don't Run It. That's the thing about Brand, right? So it separates good players from bad Brand players. Oh, my words tonight. I am just struggling. But the key to Brand is not feeding. So we'll see how successfully Please Don't Run It is able to accomplish that here in this one. He's off to a little bit of a rough start.
Yeah, the key to Brand is to not crash and burn, so to speak. But regardless, they get level 2 first, so they'll have a little bit of a laning advantage. But yeah, this is what you can see in the Gnar versus Tahm Kench matchup. Just going to be Gnar having a little bit more of an advantage for the time being. But Tahm Kench doesn't really care unless he dies, and it's really hard to kill Tahm Kench, so should be fine.
Yeah, he is going to be able to very, very comfortably just devour most of that wave as it comes into him. As the poke, you can see what they're going for here. Run It, able to get some good damage off with the E there, the Conflagrate. For, I believe that's what the ability is called, as Ramoho jumping in here on the Gnar. The Acquired Taste is stacked. He's got to be a little bit careful here, but Kingfisher is going to be very occupied with this big minion wave.
Yeah,
oh, that's another root. Bozzy, maybe looking for some damage here.
Yeah, Bozzy's been on point with those roots thus far, and honestly, on Seraphine, it's not too hard to hit the root because it just doesn't. It never like pops out like that. Oh my goodness!
Oh, there's the damage. Ezreal and Brand, the Ignite getting dropped there, and Bozzy just gets exploded.
Were we expecting that? No,
I was not.
No, I'm pretty sure. Like that's why I just kept my analysis. Yeah, they're gonna be fine. Oh my goodness! But yeah, it was a nice quick kill on the bot side, and Brand gonna get some gold, and that's really the main thing that makes Brand really difficult sometimes is that the gap between basically trying to build a AP mythic is so much harder than building a support mythic a lot of the times because you're not backing with the right amount of gold. To buy Leandries, you need to be backing with that 1,000 gold, which is harder on support than it is on backing with 750 to get Mandate. But regardless, getting that early gold means he's going for Dark Seal, so aggressive Brand. I like to see it.
It sure is aggressive. And it's going to be the tier for the Ezreal as well here. So definitely some scaling options for the Westchester bottom lane here in this one. Again, they have found themselves a slight early advantage. It is very slight, just in the bot lane there. But it totals up to about 400 gold early on here. As Ramoho continuing to get some favorable trades up against the Catfish.
One thing I want to point out is the fact that junglers haven't really put any pressure on the map. Bozzy's in trouble again.
Done. That's a lot of damage onto Seraphine again here.
Yeah.
You were saying the junglers?
The junglers haven't done anything this game. They farmed. And this is not what you expect to see when it comes to a Jarvan and a Xin Zhao. But, yeah, even in this mid lane, like, Myriadical thinks about it and is like, Sunjae is way too far for this. This dissipates, like, King Annihilator's too far for this. So they just kind of been farming, and it's the opposite of what you expect out of Xin Zhao Jarvan, as Run It is doing a lot of damage and really helping out that minion wave as well, making sure Ahata can clean up as much as possible. But
Yeah, some nice spacing on those HP bars. Able to, the turret helping to set those up appropriately for Ahata to knock them down. But yeah, I love your point about the junglers here. A couple of early game junglers that have not really been able to find good ganks here in the early minutes. They don't have very much setup. I mean, Xin Zhao does have a Twisted Fate. He does, of course, have access to the gold card. So maybe would like to see a little bit more attention paid towards that mid lane. But both of them focusing on clearing for now. They're pretty much dead even in CS. So that is going to be the focus for the time being, as top lane is just perma-pushing in favor of Glacial.
Yeah, and if you want to talk about setup, you have Tom Kench. Like, regardless of whether he's going to land a knockup or not, he's set up. Oh, goodness, boss.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be some more damage. Arcane Shift forward into the Mystic Shot. Bozzy has to play a little bit more carefully here, or he is going to end up getting picked off once again. Dissipate was down here looking for a potential play as well. And Dragon is alive here, guys. 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. Looks like that might be a play here for Westchester.
Yeah, it's going to be Dragon picked up. Not the best early Dragon because it's Ocean, but regardless, still going to be something in their back pocket. And the Rams are definitely playing a lot better this game. This is what I wanted to see, them come back into it a little bit more. And we'll see how they do from there.
Yeah, good poke from King Annihilator here. Able to chunk out Sunjay a little bit. This Twisted Fate has not had the lane priority he needs. He has ticked over to level 6 now, but he's going to need the push in order to get some value out of that Destiny. As Please Don't Run It is continuing to lay down the burn here. Lighten these fools on fire.
Oh.
Throwing out the fireball there. That's another aggressive shift forward from Ahata. Couldn't quite find the Mystic Shot, though.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of damage coming through from both of these sides. Just constantly looking for more and more, at least from the side of Please Don't Run It. But the farm has stayed relatively even, and that's the main point I want to bring up here, Crewman, is the fact that the gold is, like, the CS at least is even in this bot lane, despite there being that significant advantage. And even in the top side, Kingfisher is now even in CS. The only CS lead is actually in mid lane, and it doesn't really make up for the early Dragon, the First Blood. First Blood is effectively 500, 600 gold, and with the assist, so it's basically just the difference right now. It's the First Blood.
Yeah, absolutely. Bot lane just doing a little bit of work here this game, as that is Ramoho going for the Benganar back, but he's getting devoured.
He doesn't have
Mininar now may be in some trouble. He doesn't have the stats to fight this big, beefy catfish. He is hungry for Yordle right now. The flash is away from the lick, but here comes the Abyssal Dive, and there's the knock-up, and it's going to be Mininar getting eaten for dinner. And 2-for-0 now, Westchester.
Yeah, and that was well played from Kingfisher, just waiting until the hop was down and going for it. Please don't run it. Might be running it here.
Ooh, fancy feet from King Annihilator, able to dodge out on the stun. Trades a lot of damage back onto the brand there. Almost one-shot him, actually.
Yeah, and honestly, Annihilator could have picked up that kill if they had ultimated backwards and gone for that play to finish it off, but looks like they were just a little bit too hesitant with 3 members around. And Annihilator's doing fine here, despite Xin Zhao being here to try and keep this wave in a decent position. But still, 9 minutes in and there's been no jungle ganks. Come on. What is this?
True. And you did tease, I think, a little bit in Champion Select there that the Zoe was a comfort pick for King Annihilator here. So he's really showing it off right now in this one. Does have that nice little farm advantage that you also mentioned a little bit earlier on there, Adam, and able to dodge out on that gank very nicely as well. Looks like Rift Herald is going to be a focus now. The junglers may not care about ganks this game, but they do care about objectives, as Draven is going for the crab, and Please Don't Run It will not get rooted by that Seraphini.
Yeah, wow, this is just interesting to see how this plays out. Oh my goodness,
here comes the play, Adam. Please Don't Run It is pretty low. Here comes the bullet time. He's flashing out of it. Brand is staying alive. Anticipates getting the kill underneath the tower, but the tower shot doesn't end up coming through. It's actually a double kill that Misfortune ends up picking up. Ilioli is going to be pretty happy about that one in the end. Ahata flashed away now, trying to stay alive, but the Seraphine root will seal his fate. One more auto attack from Ramoho puts the Gnar on the board. And now it's the side of Glacial Academy tying the game up at 3-3.
Yeah, and Ilioli gets 2 kills out of that. Really well played. And good teleport as well from Remojo to clean that up on the back end. Xin Zhao just took a couple too many tower shots, went down, and then, you know, last shot hits that brand as well, and all of a sudden Ezreal with no flash had the cleanse available, but I don't think it would have mattered at the end of the day, and that's really what sealed their fate. And now, all of a sudden, Academy are in the lead based on getting a lot of plates in that mid lane, a couple plates on that bot side, and getting the kills back in their favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Myriadical dropping that Rift Herald in mid, able to get that mid lane tier 1 on the side of Westchester down to just 1 measly little turret plate. They have claimed the gold advantage, like you said, pretty significant one, over 1,000 already. Glacial Academy decisively taking back the gold lead here, trying to once again make this 2-0 on the night. Please don't run it, going for the predict on the Gromp leashing there, but Remojo able to pull it the other way. Secure that one. Trade of CC between the TF and the Seraphine there. Dragon is spawning very, very soon. Dragon number 2 will be a mountain. Both of these teams trying to jockey for position on the bottom side of the map right now. Stun will not connect. It is bottom side river control currently held by Westchester Rams. Kingfisher is just fishing right now. He's going in with the Abyssal Dive, but Jarvan has the EQ. He's going to be able to get over the wall. The Brand Ultimate does connect, but it's not going to be able to secure the kill. TF pushing forward here. The True Shot Barrage. Will he get it? No, just barely wide right there. Dragon will be started up. The enemy jungler has no HP. Not going to have an easy time getting into the pit to contest this one, and that will mean Dragons are 2-0 in favor of the Rams.
Really well played for the Rams there to actually chunk out that Jarvan so that they couldn't participate in any part of that fight. Regardless, they pick up the dragon, and it is the mountain dragon. It does open Cloud Soul, which is kind of bad this game because, you know, it's Cloud Soul and no one really likes it. Especially with the new dragons coming on, like it's just going to be the worst soul in the game, and no one's ever going to want to play with a Cloud Soul. They'll just leave dragon up forever just so that they don't have to deal with Elder. But yeah, it's... It is still an advantage.
Atlas would be aghast right now. All this hate for Cloud Soul.
Listen, I'm pretty sure Atlas is going to be like, if it isn't a... What is it? It's Chemtank and Hextech, right? If it's not a Hextech Rift, yeah. I don't want it.
Chemtech and something. I don't remember.
I think it is Hextech Rift, and it's the Bard portals that go everywhere. That Rift is going to be absolutely busted, and I am all here for it, because I know there's like a portal that just tosses you behind Dragon Pit or in front of Dragon Pit. So just imagine any flanking champion being like, oh, you didn't ward the Bard portal behind, or you didn't ward that right spot. Just flame the crap out of support, so gonna have to learn some new warding spots for all the support mains out there.
It's gonna be potentially pretty ridiculous next season, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves here, Adam, as currently we are still in this season.
I'm bored of this season now. Come on, I want to get next season. Let's go.
It's a close game, Adam. 3-3. Come on, focus. Stay with me, Adam.
Yes. Although, we've been at this point for like the last 2 minutes now, where they've just kind of been farming. Somehow Myriadical doesn't have a kill participation.
Yeah, he is. We're just going power farming on the Jarvan. Late game Jarvan strat here from Myriadical. Is that also recommended by Nidhogg? Is that part of the grasp tech? I don't know. Okay. I'm stuck.
Let me check on something with this Jarvan. Jarvan hasn't.
There's here comes the Seraphine ultimate into the bullet time, and that is going to be kill traded back. A nice true shot barrage. And here comes Twisted Fate, 2v2 now on the bottom side. Mid AD versus jungle AD. Myriadical going golden. Not really quite sure why. And now he's going back in with the EQ. And here's the Cataclysm. But he just Cataclysmed onto an Ezreal, who has an ability called Arcane Shift, where he doesn't have to care about Cataclysms. And that is going to be Myriadical going down. Kill advantage once again secured by the side of Westchester. Kingfisher fishing around up here in topside. A little bit ironic that the Fisher is playing the fish, but he is getting attacked right now. And here comes Zoe, and that is one sleepy fish. And now he is going to get cooked up once again here. Remojo gets his second. Ilioli now in some trouble down here in bot lane, flashing away underneath his tower, but it will not save him. And Ahata just deciding to give one back. I don't know what that was.
Hata gives one back. I mean, it ends up kind of being okay because on the opposite side of the map, they're getting a lot of pressure. So they get mid turret. They're going to get top turret here eventually as well. Remojo is going to have that wave available. And Kingfisher has teleport again. I would not recommend teleporting to this tower, Tom Kench. Please don't teleport to this tower. Okay, he's not teleporting.
He's not doing it. It's okay.
But yeah, Tele Remojo is going to end up with a pretty nice advantage. Once again, double Sunder coming through for their side. And or this time it's double Sunder coming through. But that was the not real flash, so that's good.
Yeah, that was just a fake flash, but that is a real stun, and that is the brand connecting the ultimate as well. Dark Harvest proc acquired, but now it's a sleepy brand. Oh, a nice flash. Gets himself away from the incoming paddle star. Please don't run it. Staying alive, but losing the trade of summoner spells there for sure.
Yeah, losing that trade of summoner spells, and Sunjay going to be forced to back off as well. It's still going in favor of Academy. They finally expanded their gold lead a little bit by taking a couple of towers, but yeah, overall, still a little bit questionable in the choice of going for these early game junglers, considering they haven't done anything. But you can't change that now at this point. Jarvan has picked up a second Rift Herald, so could look to break down bot lane with it. And Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. I think we're finally going to get, a little bit more of a team fight than just a 3v3.
I hope so. We got to keep you awake here, Adam. You're fading on me.
Just a little bit.
It is going to be third dragon of the game here, potentially Cloud Soul Point for the side of Westchester, although that may or may not matter, depending on your perspective. A nice little paddle star connecting. King Annihilator once again with the fake flash. Going to land that one onto the Ezreal. And that is the flash into the Cataclysm. Myriadical going for the big play here. Bullet time over the top. They're able to pick up a couple of kills. Glacial Academy are winning this fight. It is going to be Sin out going down, but now Kingfisher joining into the play here. Zoe in some trouble. She's forced to go back right into the belly of the fish. Belly of the beast for Kingfisher. He's going extremely low here. He's going to be able to devour the Jarvan. Spits him back out, but will end up going down. It's 4 for 2. Glacial Academy looking to stop this dragon stacking and take control of this game.
Really well-played team fight as well. You saw the bullet time and the Encore were able to come down and just melt that front line really early on, or at least Brand was taken down right away, and so was that Twisted Fate. Xin Zhao was able to stay alive for a really long time, though, and got some good damage down onto Ilioli, and then Annihilator gets caught by the flank from Kingfisher, but this Catfish not tanky enough quite yet, so still goes down. 4 for 2. Dragon going over to Glacial Academy. Of note, though, they get a 3,000 gold lead, and they missed a lot, or at least the side of WC Rams missed a lot in terms of waves as well. It's always weird to say that when you're looking at a dragon fight, but that top wave was really big, and they're going to miss most of that now. So Tom Kench is going to be put a little further behind. This Gnar now has the teleport advantage and can just sit bot lane. And please don't run it.
Oh, you're
running
dead.
It. Oh,
you're
yeah.
so dead. That was a gameplay experience right there for please don't run it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Oh, bot lane, though.
Remojo looking for it, but Everfrost is an ability, but Jarvan is here. Tier 1 still available. Sunjay gonna escape under the Tier 1 here. Myriadical will not be able to pursue. He does have the Herald still. Could potentially look to drop it here and take this one out.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to drop that Herald, I believe. Yeah, this tower has under 2,500
Oh,
HP,
going for the big Gnar.
Goodness.
Gets it right into the wall. Sunjay going to go golden and trying to stay alive here. His jungler is here for the counter engage. Going for the Crescent Guard, but I don't know if it's going to work out for him. Is able to pick up the kill onto the mini Gnar. And we do have the Conqueror fully stacked for Dissipate. He's flashing away now, though. Doesn't think he's going to be able to survive that fight. Please don't run it, throwing out the fireball there for moral support, I guess. And it was a close fight down here on bot side, 1 for 1, but that Tier 1 turret on the side of the Rams does end up going down.
Yeah, the Brand ultimate, I can see what they were... Oh, never mind.
He finds the kill. There's the Brand passive shutdown. Please don't run able to redeem himself a little bit. Who needs that ultimate?
Yeah, who needs it?
Not
You don't
Brand.
need it at all. But regardless, really well played at the end of the day, and they are able to get a couple of kills off the back end of that. They pick up the Gnar shutdown. They pick up the Jarvan shutdown as well, so the kills are worth a little bit more there. But they lose that bot tower at the end of the day. That's not going to come back alive. So they're working on it. I think WCU are in a better position at 20 minutes now than last game where they were down almost 9,000 gold and losing Baron off of spawn. But we'll see if they can kind of claw their way back into it, because as we were saying with the comps from draft, the side of WCU Rams, they have the pick comp. They can look for those sort of niche plays, but the team fight comp is going to end up scaling better regardless, because you can just press your R onto everyone and end up getting, 2-3 kills, and that's really the important part. Sunjay, though, going for it.
He's getting popped. Sunjay looking for something here. He's going into mid lane, and he's taking a bullet time straight to the face. Sunjay just teleports into his own death. We got the flash into the Gnar ultimate. Ramoho looking for it here. He gets a couple scooped back into his team. Now Kingfisher trying to flash away, trying to stay alive. Cataclysm going down on Muriatical, going for the 1v1 in the pit. Jungler v jungler, mano a mano. Xin Zhao wins those, though. Now Kingfisher still going for his escape. He's actually trying to turn this one around onto the Gnar. Ramoho does not have Mega. Maybe he's in some trouble here. He's going back in. Gnar, no, you don't win this. You're mini. He hits the blast cone now, but Tom Catcher's going to get the stun, and he's going to get the kill. Ramoho, oh, he turns Mega again. He turns it around at the last second. Kingfisher, he's still able to get the kill in the end. The Gnar wasn't able to do it. After all, Ramoho biting off a little bit more than he could chew there, and it's Tom Kench who will get the last meal.
Yeah, and Misfortune actually picks up 3 kills in that fight because Dissipate went down on the back end. So Ilioli, 7-3-4, going to be shredding through everyone. Zoe didn't really do much in that fight, and that's the scary part because she was not in that fight to start it off. Imagine that fight when you've got Paddle Stars going through, dealing 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 damage, maybe? We're just counting here because that's what King Annihilator does. And thus far, he's been counting himself some nice kills, 3, 1, and 4. Building towards a Rabadon's death cap, which is very scary. Yes, very scary.
He has been an absolute menace so far this game on the Zoe, no doubt about it. And he is looking for something right now, actually. You can see him pressing forward in that topside jungle, trying to fish for a pick. While the team starts up Baron, it's not 20 minutes, but 22 minutes is 20 minutes too. And it's going to be Glacial Academy looking to lock this one down once again here and secure the mid game for themselves. And it's going to be Westchester not even remotely in the area. They're setting up for Cloud Soul Point right now.
They're
just
lost
gave over
on the
Baron
map.
for free.
You saw those pings coming down from the side of WCU. They didn't know where the enemy team was because they had no vision. And now you can just see that they don't care about this soul. They're just going to go for this mid lane play. Yeah. This Twisted Fate ultimate is going to just prevent them from going for this. And
he's trying to put a stop to this, but Kingfisher is trying to frontline, and he's just eating so much damage right now. The Seraphine ult does go wide, and we've got Dissipate on the flank here, going for the big press and guard now, but it's going to be the flash in for another Cataclysm. Muriatical is looking forward in the bullet time, doing so much work here as well. Xin Zhao going back in, trying to turn this one around, but he will get cut down. He will fall short. It will be actually the side of Glacial getting pushed back here in this one. TF getting another gold card. It was actually a successful defense of the tier 2 for the side of Westchester. And they're going to be able to fall back here and actually end up claiming that dragon and knocking off 3 Baron buffs.
Yeah, I don't know if they can get the dragon right away either, though, because Dissipate's not up. Muriatical's going to be up in 10 seconds, so they knock off 3 Baron buffs, which is the main thing, and Misfortune picks up another kill for herself, but of note, once again, Zoe really not able to find the key sleep. Xin Zhao had so much value in that fight because he waited so long to use his Crescent Guard and knocked people back into the team. That's what led to Telo de Mojo's death. That's what led to Bozzy's death as well, as forced to try and get out, didn't have the flash, and died to the brand. So a lot of factors at play, and looks like it will be Baron being that might get picked up here by the side of Glacial Academy, all things considered. Yeah. It is a 4,500 goldie, but please don't run it as in trouble.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of CC coming down, and Sunjay has no answer for it. We'll get absolutely deleted right there in the river, and it's going to be the side of the Rams forced to back away. We're 2-2 now in Dragons. It was Glacial first to the river. They're able to hold that position very easily. And that is the big jump forward into the Narahata. Forced to flash away there. Does not get locked up by the CC coming through from the Seraphine. Now Ramoho maybe in a little bit of trouble here, but we got the extension on the ultimate. Asriel did get charmed there, but he's not taken out. Ramoho hanging on with 100 HP. He's burning, but he will just barely stay alive.
Yeah, I'm going to be able to keep them so...
Ooh, the Mystic Shot.
But meanwhile, bot lane, you got the 2 people with Baron buff pushing down that bot side, and they're going to get another tower for themselves. So 5,500 gold lead. Baron power play isn't the biggest that you can get, but now Myriadical's in trouble.
Yes, he is. He's driving. He has an EQ. He's going for the Cataclysm here. Drops the E, but he has a lot of CC. And he waited a little bit too long. I don't know if he was missing the cooldowns or what, but that is going to be the jungler picked up on the back end of that one. Westchester fighting back.
And, you know, was trying to get the Cataclysm, but ended up just getting catfished. Kingfisher there to clean that up at the back end of it. And for all intents and purposes here, the side of WCU Rams are doing a good job of keeping it close. They're keeping themselves within striking distance, and a lot of that does have to do with this brand pick, doing a bunch of damage, sort of filling in the magic damage part of it that Twisted Fate hasn't quite been able to supplement. But Please Don't Run It has gotten caught out a couple too many times in these fights, though, for my liking at least, and that's really what's starting to turn the fights. When you see WCU succeed, it's because Please Don't Run It is able to stay alive and dish out maximum amount of damage before going down, if going down at all, whereas in the fights where they aren't successful, it's Please Don't Run It just being zoned out of the fight and not able to drop that ultimate onto multiple members.
Yeah, I mean, for Sunjay, he is going for that full utility TF build, the Everfrost into the Rapid Fighter. He has it just now hit that 2-item spike, so the engage potential from this Twisted Fate is significant, but Sunjay, he's not been having himself a very good game so far. He is 0-4 at the moment, down about 60 CS to the opposing mid laner, and it has just really not been the performance that he was looking for here tonight, I think.
Yeah, Sunjay just trying to, at this point, just needs to be as much utility as possible. Has the exhaust in tow right now, which may be able to keep them alive, and could be a power point for them in a fight as well if they can exhaust Ilioli.
Yeah, absolutely. He still has a potential to make a big impact here. TF, very strong in the meta right now. See what he's able to get done. The power of that global ultimate cannot be underestimated. Kingfisher just getting pushed in a little bit up here. It's going to be the Baron spawning about 45 seconds before that Cloud Dragon is on the map here. So once again, we could potentially be looking for the side of Glacial Academy to get control over that topside river and actually pressure that objective and not really care as much about any kind of Cloud Dragon coming through.
Yeah, the Cloud Soul in the end, like as I said, it's sort of just like, meh, you get it, and okay, you spawned Elder. That's really the main thing from it. But honestly, if it's a drop between getting Soul Point on Cloud Drake and getting Baron, I think you're going to take Baron almost every single time. The Vision's going to try and get put down here by WCU, and a lot of face checking going on. Myriadical's going to get spotted out, but they might just engage.
Here comes the EQ. They're looking for the play now. That is the Devour, and it's going to be Tom Kench diving away, able to save his support there. Nicely done by Kingfisher, and there's that engage range from Sunjay, able to lock up the enemy jungler, driving extremely low, able to EQ over the wall, keep himself safe. Here's the Crescent Guard. Bossy is going to get cut down here by this fate on the Zen Zhao. Ramoho going to get knocked up. He's going down. It's 2 kills for Westchester. It's 2 for 2, though, actually, in this fight. 3v3 now on the map. Sunjay throwing out the gold card, but he gets blown up by the Paddle Star from King Annihilator. He will annihilate his opponents. It's going to be Tom Kench going down as well. No, he's diving away. He's able to get the kill onto Jarvan. They're trying to take out this Catfish. Only the carries left alive for the side of Glacial Academy. They will be able to get him in the end. King Annihilator will not be denied.
And he will annihilate.
So many flashes.
Yes, and at the end of it, it's just Ilioli being way too fed at this point. 10-3 and 9 on this Misfortune. That's 2.5 items as Myriadical disconnected for a bit. Looks like they're going to be okay for now. They're not pausing it quite yet, but pause, champ. I'm waiting for them to pause. Yeah, there we go.
There it is.
But yeah, just in the end, it's Ilioli just being way too fed for this game, and Annihilator as well, supplementing a lot of damage finally in that fight, able to stay alive. And while Dissipate's able to take down Bozzy on the back end of that, and Telo Remojo was caught out and wasn't really able to go Mega at the right times, you know, Myriadical had a good chance to regen up, walk all the way around, and get back into that fight in the second half to lock down the Twisted Fate at least, and or the Brand, sorry. And just a little bit too much damage for Misfortune overall. She's able to pick up another 2 kills in that fight. Zoe picked up the I think another 2, so it was really strong.
Yeah, definitely. King Annihilator and Ilioli both doing a lot of work in that one. And they still have yet to break the base. We have both objectives are going to be alive here. It looks like potentially the side of Glacial will be moving towards the dragon first this time around. Their jungler is currently dead, currently DC'd technically, but we expect him to reconnect shortly. And when he does, he will respawn and maybe even meet his team at Baron after they clean up Dragon. What do you think here, Adam? What's the play going to be?
I think honestly, if they can find another team fight when they can just go for the Baron, this Dragon is just more so because they got nothing better to do on the map right now. They've pushed in mid lane as far as they can go for the time being. Their waves are getting pushed back to them, so if they're going to go up there, they're wasting a lot of time, and at this point, they're far enough ahead that side lanes, they matter slightly less than normal. Of course, it does mean experience for your Gnar to get level 16. Your Zoe's already 16. Ilioli's already level 16 as well. So the experience, even then, only really useful on Tero de Mojo if they're able to get solo experience for a little bit. And at the end of the day, they just want to get as many objectives on the map just to take them away from the side of WCU. And if they can turn this Dragon right into a Baron fight and win that, then the game's over. If they go to that Baron now, they take it without too much of a contest and they just win the game too. So there's a lot of winning scenarios for the side of Glacial Academy. It's just about seeing if WCU can find their avenue back into it.
Well, we've talked about the win conditions for Glacial now. I want to put you in a tough spot now, Adam, and try and see what paths to victory might Westchester have at this point in the game. They're down about 8,000 gold. They're about to go down 3 Cloud Dragons here over to their opponents. And they're facing off against a teamfight composition that is very much online here. So what kind of path to victory do you think they may be able to carve out for themselves?
They carved themselves. That was a nice pause champ here as we wait for the game to unfreeze. But for the side of WC Rams, they just need to find a pick onto this Misfortune. Misfortune is the most important carry. She burned both sums in that last fight, and she just got to find a way back into it.
All right, so try and get some lockdown onto Ilioli. See if maybe Sujay is able to accomplish that. Does have the long-range stun with the rapid fire cannon there, so if Ilioli steps a little bit too far forward, could get locked down by the TF there, as we have a nasty flank from Moho here. Please don't run it. Did not expect Gnar to be behind him. And he will get locked up and taken out here. 5v4 on the map. Should be probably a free Baron here for Glacial Academy.
Yeah, and Baron going to get picked up. No Brand on the map. And as I said, if Brand stays alive, they have a chance. But unfortunately, just not enough teamfight damage now to be able to supplement. And Baron's going to go down, and they might just go for the death march here.
Respect the attempt there from a Hata going for the steal with the True Shot Barrage there, but it wasn't that close in the end. It looks like top lane tier 2 going to be the focus for now from the side of Glacial. I do like this call. You already got mid lane inhibitor, no reason to push there. Let's come up top side. Let's take out some more structures, see if we can end the game through here.
Yep, going to continue that push and look to see if they can get a double inhibitor. I don't know if this ends the game for them, but at best case, they get double inhibitor. It's going to be down for when Soul is up and they get Soul. I think they just go for a fight, though, knowing Academy, and they're going to try and end the game off this.
Brand has respawned, but all ultimates for the side of Glacial are available. I'm looking for a potential tower dive here. Ramoho has Mega Gnar. But look for something right now. Sujay off on the flank, but he's 50% of his health bar right before this fight even breaks out. Let's start a stun. Here comes Ramoho with the Mega Gnar, and the Cataclysm into the tier 3 turret. His Gnar burning down extremely low. He will drop in the end. It's a 1-for-1 at the start of this fight, but Brand gets absolutely exploded once again. Tom Kent uses Devour on Jarvan, which is really not a priority target, but he does end up going a little bit deep. Ahata was able to pick up the kill there, but it's 4 for 2. Glacial Academy is gonna wipe the floor with the side of the Rams as Ezreal gets picked up on the fountain. King Annihilator leaving no doubt. It's the better team winning tonight. Glacial Academy advancing forward with another 2-0 victory.
Yeah, it's going to be 2-0 going over to Academy in one very straightforward game. And this one, a little bit more difficult, at least. They had some tests in the mid game, but in the end, they're able to clean that up and pick themselves up a 2-0. And as you said, going to be marching closer to that 2,000 ELO mark in top 10.
Strong performance tonight out of Glacial Academy. Like you said, that second game was definitely closer than the first. So props to Westchester University Rams for fighting back, making that one a little bit more competitive. But in the end, it was definitely a little bit of a mid-gap there, dare I say.
Annihilator did really well.
Yeah, the rest of the squad over there on Glacial Academy performing quite well as well, especially Ilioli there on the Misfortune 10-3 and 12. Definitely a dominant performance there in that second game.
And at the end of the day, we'll see more of WCU and Academy throughout the season. I think that both of these teams have a lot of potential, despite a little bit of a rough start for WCU to their style careers here. I'm sure they can get back up on their feet and look for some victories.
Adam, if you had to choose one person here for player of the series tonight, who would you go for from the side of Glacial Academy there? Who would you say stood out the most in those two games that they were in?
I think Ilioli is the real MVP at the end of this one. Had a great Caitlyn game, was able to stay alive through the Wukong dive and all of the other difficulties in that team fight in game one. And then in game two, on this Misfortune, was just dishing out the damage with those bullet times, even just by kiting out Dissipate and Kingfisher so well. I think that's really where a lot of their focus lies. And Ilioli, after a little bit of a tough weekend, bounces back here and shows what he's made of.
Absolutely. Great couple of games from him. Props to all of those guys over there on Glacial Academy. Nice win tonight. But that is going to be all from us here at the Style Esports League this evening. We are going to have, I believe,
Thursday,
another best of three on Thursday. Take a look there. Gonna be Mythic Esports versus Esports Caps at 9:15 Eastern. Don't want to miss that one, guys. Stay tuned for that Thursday matchup. But from tonight, from myself, crewman, from Rare Adam here, from the entire production squad over here at Style Esports, thank you guys so much for watching. We definitely appreciate you guys, and have a wonderful evening.